Here's a little bonus room, 'cause I know you've had it tough. And here's a little bonus tune about collecting real cool stuff. Yes, here's a little bonus room where you can play. Don't be frightened, don't run away. You can linger, 'cause I'm your video friend. Think of me as a father figure with a hand to lend. Here's a little bonus room where you don't have to worry. Take your sweet time, you need not hurry. Oh, you're looking incredible, you're the bomb. And me, I'm kinda like your dad, and a little like your mom. There are no monsters here, hey wait, look over there.
Happy Thanksgiving and gobble gobble motherfuckers. It's World 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me is Eddie Stuffing V.
Hello everybody, I'm here.
And Josh the LeGrew.
I'm here as well.
So we wanted to do something kind of light since everybody's probably digesting a very heavy meal right now. So we thought we'd take the opportunity for this Thanksgiving to reminisce on some of our favorite holiday season gaming binges. I'm going to throw it to Eddie since Eddie's been vacant for the last couple weeks. Eddie, what have been some of your favorite holiday gaming binges over the years?
I really do like a lot of backlog stuff. I know for a bit, like every Thanksgiving, I would touch up on like Monster Hunter. Like when I have Monster Hunter Third Strike, what's the Third Strike? Or Monster Hunter 3, the one that it was on Wii, I would just like every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, what was it? Monster Hunter Try, I think it was.
I think Try, yeah.
Try. Yeah.
I will always try to play that, and it was just like I would jump from that to I have a treasure game, so let me jump into something treasure. Earlier back in the 16-bit days, it was always Secret of Mana, or it was like Arrow Flash on the Sega Genesis. Like anything that I just I played before, but I just was zone out and play the whole game that whole day. It used to be like that. I actually, when we had the earlier Nintendo Book Club, me and Johnny Womack, we literally took 9 hours to do Super Metroid just straight. Like we played it from 6 o'clock because we had to take breaks for some of it. Like we played it, but we had to pause the game and go get something to eat or go to the bathroom. But I literally, went through all of Super Metroid in one run. It took me like 8 to 9 hours playing that. And I normally take breaks for Super Metroid. Like I'll play it for an hour or two and then like stop. But like binging on that whole game in one day, just to be ready for a discussion, it's just like I'm like, I've never did this, even though I beat Super Metroid like millions of times.
Probably not million. No, probably not really millions.
No,
right?
Not millions, but it's just like I could look at it.
Seemed like a lot.
I could look at it and be like, okay, I know what to do, and just be able to go there. Also, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Bionic Commando, I've done the NES one.
The NES Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
The Bionic Commando. Oh, you already know someone. Ported the Hedgehog 2 to NES.
Sonic 2 is so good, though.
It is. Probably the best Sonic.
Yes.
Yeah, I beat that whole game. I beat 1 and 2, all with their all the emeralds, and being supersonic. I'll beat them all in one sitting. So, and Rygar. So that's one of my like Thanksgiving binges.
Josh, what about you? What have been some of your holiday season binges over the years?
I have a lot. The most recent one was last year, where I decided to get back into my Nintendo 64 collection. and start playing some of that. So I plugged in my Nintendo 64, made sure it worked, and it did. So then I just started playing games. I mean, I mean, some of the really terrible games too, like Shadows of the Empire, and like games that don't really translate well to today. Because I'm like, is this really as bad as I remember it, or is this as good as I remember it? So those games, yeah, they were terrible, but they're still fun to play. I mean, it's a nostalgia. You still have it. Um, if I go back even farther, every Christmas I would get, or holiday season, I would get a computer game. And I remember getting like King's Quest 5, and playing that for,
Nice.
yeah, for like 2 weeks straight. In fact, when we got King's Quest 5, my dad had to buy a new computer because a computer couldn't run it. He didn't have enough hard drive space, let alone couldn't run it. And it was 10 megabytes. That was the game. It was like 10.5 megabytes. It was the largest game ever made at the time. It's nuts thinking of it today,
I know.
especially like Eddie and I were talking real quick about Red Dead. It's 100 gigs. It's 2 Blu-rays. I mean, that's like, it's just so much different than it used to be. But yeah, I always used to have a computer game to play, or Nintendo 64 was last year. This year, it's going to become one of my favorite holiday binges, I think, because I'm jumping into PSVR. But other than that, that's probably the best few I can remember.
I'm just curious, what do you got lined up for PSVR to play?
Okay, so I bought the bundle where my wife bought the bundle where it's got Super Hot VR.
Yes.
Yes, I know. It's going to be awesome. It's got the Creed. I'm not really sure about that, like the movie tie-in game.
Huh.
And I bought a few others. I bought Moss. I bought Farpoint.
Okay.
And I bought Breakout or Battlezone.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like a reimagining of the old school game.
Right.
I do recommend getting a Thumper for PSVR.
Right, I'm gonna hold off on that honestly, just because like Thumper, I don't really know if I'm gonna. My wife literally thinks I'm gonna get sick and throw up because I'm like when I first started playing first-person shooter games, I used to get motion sickness, and I used to have to actually stop and either take a Dramamine or just stop for like an hour or two. But after years of playing, you just kind of it didn't even take that long, but it was a couple months, and I was kind of like good with it. That's when I was a kid, though. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to see if this, if I get any problems with this kind of stuff. But that's that's the binge I'm looking forward to. Let's put it that way.
I would say there are some suggestions to check out.
Right.
Beat Saber, I've heard nothing but good things, and Tetris Effect would probably be a neat one.
Yeah, I heard that was one I was actually I heard quite a bit about in the last 24 hours. Just seems like that because it just came out, so everybody is really loving it, especially the people playing it on VR.
And when you get around to playing it, I want to hear about Moss because that actually piqued my interest quite a bit.
Right. I mean, I figuratively wanted that bundle, but that bundle wasn't available because there's a bundle of PSVR that comes with Moss.
Really?
And, yeah, in something else, and it's $199 as well.
Okay.
But I couldn't find it. It was sold out. It wasn't available. So I bought this, and then I bought the copy of Moss with it. I bought one of those PSVR aim guns too.
Okay.
So for the kind of first-person shooter,
right? Like Super Hot.
Yeah, I wanted to see if it actually makes a difference or not.
Probably not, but I'm sure it'll be just as much dumb fun.
I'll probably like Violet said, she'd fall out of her chair. If I fall out of my chair and break my VR headset, well, then I know it's not for me. But it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Right on. So over the years, a couple of games stand out to me just as some of my favorite holiday binges. From many years ago, I remember spending an entire holiday season playing nothing but Legend of Dragoon.
Oh yeah.
I had just gotten a PlayStation and had pinched my pennies and bought a copy and went home and
That's the Dragon one, right?
What?
That's the Dragon one, right?
Yeah.
Never played it.
You've never played it?
Even you've got a PlayStation. Go download it.
I'm fine.
Oh no, you're not.
You
Trust
should
me.
at
Go
least
play
watch a
this shit.
YouTube video on it.
Oh no.
You know what we're
should,
talking
dude.
about.
I had that during that time. I was doing Legend of Legaia and Breath of Fire 3.
The story in Dragoon is so good.
I was so pissed off at Sony for their RPGs. So that's why I didn't really play it.
Really? I think they have some of the best RPGs.
Their RPGs are garbage.
I'm still fucking furious that Sony hasn't done anything with that property since then. Like, seriously, bring me a sequel.
Well, shoot, Sony pretty much got out the RPG business.
Yeah, they just get other companies to do it now.
Yeah. It's a shame they're just sitting on that property. They won't let anybody else do anything with it either. Like, seriously, fucking farm it out. Do something.
Did they conclude it? Like it was like an ending? They didn't cliffhang it at the end?
Oh, it did. It wrapped up nicely. I would just love to go back to those characters again. It really was a phenomenal story that's worth checking out.
And I do believe that they had a sequel in the works at some point, but it was canceled or whatever. You know, whoever, the stars didn't align perfectly.
Right.
But
it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, that's one, and that's actually I picked it up and I played a little bit of it earlier this year too. Just for shits and giggles. One of the others that I got to play, it turned into a holiday season or a winter season binge for me, was the original Metroid Prime. Just timing of when I finally got a GameCube when I was in high school, and I got to pick up the game to go with it. It just happened to be that particular season, and I had the time to basically just waste playing video games. So, and that was my game. I just sit in my room on my old tube TV, and
best way to play.
It was tiny little tube TV too. It was not a big thing at all, but sit there playing it, and I would turn the background music down because I was familiar with all of it. I'd played so much of it. I turned the background music down, and I remember, what was I listening to that year? I was on a big Daft Punk kick, so I was listening to Daft Punk's Homework album and their Discovery album. I think I was leaning more into Homework at the time.
The Homework album is okay. They have a couple of tracks. I think this Discovery is with
Discovery is the one that everybody really knows.
With the anime.
That's got Interstellar 5555.
Yeah.
Another good one, actually, that I think honestly was almost a better version of their Homework album, was the Human After All album.
Richard, I need to find this. That wasn't the one that they recorded live, right?
No.
Okay.
No, Human After All was the studio album following Discovery.
Okay, that one then I need to find and listen to.
It's good.
But I'm really mad and disappointed at you for that, because the Metroid Prime soundtrack is so good.
It is, but I was in the midst of a big Daft Punk kick, and it was one of those things that I had played so much of it already. I seriously played through Prime 6-7 times in the span of a month.
Anytime that I play Prime, and still to this very day, my focus is on that gameplay and that good old music. Like, I just can't help it. That sound is so good. That soundtrack is so good.
Phendrana Drifts is amazing. I think the biggest thing that got me to turn off the background music, though, was playing through the Phazon Mines.
That didn't do.
The mines just had nothing to them.
It felt kind of like a battle-ish like kind of thing. No,
you're thinking of Magmore. The Phazon Mines had like nothing.
What was
The reason you can't think of the music is because there basically was none.
Was that the one where you got the visor and you was able to see the platforms?
No,
Maybe.
no.
I know what you're talking
did
about.
find
Yeah,
the,
you might be right.
Yeah, the power bombs were in the Phazon mines.
Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, there was just no music to it.
that boss fight was kind of oof. Goodness, that was kicking my tail. I
Yeah,
loved it.
that got a little tricky just because there was it was invisible and there was nothing to lock onto.
Yes,
So, but
Great
no,
game though.
it is. I
played the shit out of that game too.
I actually missed my annual playthrough this year of the entire series. So, it's the first year in a long, long time that that's happened. But everything this year has just kind of gone wonky.
it's so weird. After the trilogy, I played like Other M pretty much 3 times. Like when I finished it, I went back and played the whole. Even like my first playthrough, 100% it, and then went back and played it again. I could not get enough of Metroid Prime. Metroid Other M.
You're definitely in the minority. Don't get me wrong. Like I have points where I'm like, I'm in that very specific mood that I actually want to play it. Like the gameplay to me was fun. The story was still abysmal. The writing was awful. The voice acting was fucking terrible. It just it didn't translate well at all.
Which is weird because I wasn't bothered by it, and maybe because of Metroid Fusion, in a sense. I know Metroid Fusion is a better overall
Yeah, but even
experience.
Fusion, you had the joy of like discovering and finding items and power ups, rather than just having them there the whole time and Adam being like, "Hey, use this thing now," even though you probably should have started using it 20 minutes ago.
But it's so weird that it was just like Team Ninja can do Metroid. It's just the other factors that need to be worked on. Then it's not bad. It just needs to be worked on. Like
there's an okay foundation there in terms of gameplay, but most everything surrounding that needs a lot of help.
Because I love doing the dash roll and just attacking and like jumping everywhere and switching up attacks and stuff. Like it felt really good, and I'm just like, Team Ninja know how to do this. They can't do it well in their other games, but yet it works in Metroid.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Like gameplay and combat was fun.
Yeah, it's just some other factors.
It stripped out so much of what made a Metroid game a Metroid game.
You know what? I think if Metroid Other M did come to Switch, it would work because there's more buttons on it. So
I don't think so.
It would work. It would work in the fact that it wouldn't need the first person to do
the problem is if they bring something to Switch, they're gonna have to bring what people know and want, and they're gonna want like the original Prime trilogy.
Well, I mean that's going to be there, but I think Metroid Other M can work on Switch.
It probably can, but I don't think they're going to waste the resources in doing it.
Yeah, as poorly as it was received, not happening.
No.
Well, yeah. But
I mean, a hardcore people would, they'd buy it, but there's not enough.
If they said like if they announced it with some new material, new gameplay, controls.
Sorry, Eddie, it's not happening.
No.
Well, I know it's not going to happen.
I know you want it to happen.
But I'm just saying that if they were going to do it.
No, I agree with you. They have to do something like that.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I think more people would enjoy it better. I think the problems that they originally had, if it got fixed for Switch, I think people will go.
No, I agree with you. The problem with Metroid is it's not the seller that like Mario is or Zelda is. It just doesn't sell as much.
It sells here in America,
right? But that's what I mean. It's not to everybody, so they're not going to waste that kind of resources on that.
I think they
Even
would.
in the States, it
They
doesn't
could.
move like everything else does,
No,
which is a shame. But
it is a shame, really, because it's an awesome series, but it is what it is.
but yeah. So I don't know, Eddie. You want to throw in one more holiday season binge?
Uh, besides Christmas, like Christmas or something.
Just
Yeah,
general
whatever.
holiday season. Yeah, holiday season.
Um, like Christmas, I normally do like a Mega Man game. Like uh, I will spend time just going through a whole Mega Man game if I can on Christmas for that. Normally
What's your favorite game?
for the Mega Man series.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
Um, it is
2, 3, 4.
I normally go with Mega Man 3
Yeah, that's a good one.
over Mega Man 2, and and not saying that Mega Man 2 is Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 kind of equals a 10, but I think there were some design choices in 2
Right.
that kind of make it I mean it's difficult, but it's just like when you get to the point where you gotta redo the whole level just to get all your weapon energy back because you have to do a boss in a certain manner at close at the end of the game, and the way that you fight the Dr. Wily at the end of the game is kind of tedious in a sense, where Mega Man 3 I just feel like there is a challenge there, but
Right.
it kind of switches it up when you don't expect it.
Well, you kind of know
robot.
you know the story of Mega Man 2, right?
Yeah, I know.
Like they were basically made that after hours within a
Yeah.
few months, just a few people. So I mean, like Capcom didn't even think that the Mega Man series was going to be profitable,
Yeah.
and so they let them make that game, and that's why Mega Man 3 I think honestly is so much better, just because it improved because they actually this does sell, people want it.
Well, Mega Man 3, like it splits the robot
Right.
masters.
Right.
Like you could do 5 that will equal each other, but then there's 3 robot masters that can only do each 3. And a lot of people didn't catch that on. I'm just like, I really didn't even think about that. I'm like, wow, and I think the fight of getting close to like the end of the game is kind of easier. But I normally say Mega Man 3 is my best one, and I do love Mega Man 8. I don't know why people don't like it, but I do enjoy Mega Man 8 also.
So, fair enough.
I think 2 is still my favorite, just because the music in 2 wins out for me.
Yeah,
2 is my favorite for me, just because of the story of how I got it. It was a super rainy day, and I had to call it. This is going to age me a lot, but I had to call it. My mom told me to call around and make sure they had it. So I had to call the store and say, hey, I'm calling long distance. We're we're going to drive up there and get it. Do you guys have a copy? And the guy said, yeah, I have one copy. And my mom said, well, make sure they'll hold it for you. And I said to the guy, well, will they hold it for me? And the guy said, no, we're not holding it. And it was at a Target, and it was like 40 miles from my house or whatever. So
wow.
When I hung up the phone, my mom said, well, are they going to hold it? And I said, yeah. They said, yeah. And so she drove up there in the rainstorm, and we got there. That one copy was still there. So for me, that's kind of the reason Mega Man 2 wins out.
So where Super Mario Brothers 3 was sold out everywhere, and I found it. I was at the mall. We had Suncoast Video, and I didn't know Suncoast sold Nintendo games.
Right.
And so I go in there and I look, and right next to me on my left is a yellow box that says Super Mario Brothers 3. And I'm like, what the world? I ran out of Suncoast and I ran and got my mom, and me and her went up there and bought Super Mario Brothers 3. I could not wait to play that game. It was just sold. It was sold out everywhere. You cannot find a copy anywhere.
That was the same with Mega Man 2. There wasn't one anywhere. It would just happen to be that one place.
That was my Christmas game with fighting that stupid dragon. I could beat him with ease now, but shoot.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think we'll call it there for Thanksgiving. Eddie, it's good to see you're alive and breathing. Good luck to you as you brave the Black Friday insanity.
Actually, I even though I want to brave it, it's no special hours. It's the same regular hours. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Right on. Well, in that case, we'll call it a day, and everyone that stopped in and tuned in to join us for your part of your holiday. I hope that you have a wonderful and safe holiday. Enjoy the time with your family, with your friends, and enjoy your holiday gaming. And we'll see you back tomorrow for our regularly scheduled episode. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Peace.
I was just kidding. Don't be scared. And when you turn this game off in the real world once again, you won't have to play make-believe or try to pretend. 'Cause I'll be right there when you open your hand. 'Cause I'm your little invisible musical friend. So show me to your pets or show me to your pals. You really will impress every nifty guy and gal. Show them you're individual. Show them you are bold. Besides, I get residuals for every game that's sold. I'm your little invisible musical friend.